let's see here. To hear the whole recording. Just so you know, guys, the recordings are always on my Sovereignty by Design Facebook page. Okay, that's where they are. This is streaming live onto Facebook right now. And so that's where the recordings always are. Okay, gate 31. Yeah, I'm wondering if there's a pattern between how the archetypes break out generationally between older and younger women. You know, Lane, I don't have enough data yet to know the answer to that. I think that is a fascinating question. One thing I do feel pretty strongly is that wise woman is something that we grow into. Because wisdom takes time. Wisdom doesn't take time, it takes experience. And there are some young ones who come in who are wise ones from the get-go, but I definitely feel that wise woman is one that we grow into. And I also think that any of these leadership types, for most people, are going to become more and more available and are going to become more and more robust the more mature we get, if that makes sense. Okay. What is this? Wise woman. All right, we're going to go on to wise woman. I'm going to probably go a little after 2. So I went all the way till 2:30 last time, but I'm hoping to just maybe go to 2:15 this time. We'll see. Okay, wise woman. Here we go. All right, so wise woman is an energy that I had suggested came from either a first line profile, we got right here, or from the gate 48, which is right here, because the gate 48 in traditional human design is known as the depth or the well, and in quantum human design is known as wisdom. And so I think it kind of makes sense, right, that we would be looking there, because the 48 loves to learn, loves to learn. And so does the first line, right, traditionally known as the investigator, wants to know everything about a subject if they get into it. So this person has got that first line profile. And the thing that kind of stands out to me here is this tribal energy, the way that these are all connected to each other, right? Because this energy is part of the commerce. No, I think the 4037. Well, anyway, they're all part of the ego circuit. Or the business circuit. And so they're a tribal energy. And so one of the questions that I would have for this person is, what is your relationship to the tribe? And that these two channels here, which are both vitally significant, you've only got 3 channels that are defined, really do better with wisdom. And because this one is known as the channel of the bargain, it's all about agreements. It's like, how do we work together to create agreements that are going to really work for everyone? And this one is traditionally known as the channel of sales, but it's about persuasion, enrolling, getting buy-in, getting everybody on board with something. And so those are both really important tribal energies, and bringing wisdom to those is going to be key. Okay, so that's what I would say there. Here we have got another no motor projector. Let's see, what's your profile? You are a 2-4. And here's the 48. So yeah, so she's got that particular marker. She's also got, a defined ajna. So she's going to be pretty in her head and focused on that data collection, the analysis, the wanting to know. So she's definitely got markers for that for her. And one of the things I would say is she's also got, I consider these leadership markers as well. I did associate the 51 more with the high priestess. And the 21 is part of this money line, as we talked about earlier today. The 49, Karen is calling this energy, the cosmic revolutionary. It's known as revolution, right? So it's a vital energy for sure in the chart. And then you've got all this intensity that's going to build it up. So the thing I would say for you, Julia, is to use your brilliance, because I'm sure you're a brilliant woman. But don't allow, it's because, so you've got the beginning of the logic circuit, it's coming down here, and then, you don't have a ton of it, but it is where your 48 is, but you do have some of the knowing circuit as well. And you actually have more of the knowing circuit coming right up through the middle. And so you might feel a little bit of a tension between your knowing and your logic. And so the thing I would say is invite your knowing, your inner knowing, to really inform that 48 energy that you have, so that you don't default into thinking something is only valuable if it is, if it's provable, if you can find it in books, if you researched it, that kind of thing, which you could do if you, with that 48. Okay. Here we've got another defined head in Ajna, but look at this really powerful beginning of the knowing circuit. And we've got a manifesting generator with all of this power coming right down. So the thing I would say to you, Eileen, is to really allow yourself, and you and I have had this conversation before, to really dance with, because you've also got this strong channel of talent here, which is going to, it's in logic, and so it's going to want to know more about the research. So you've got that same kind of energy, but then look, you've got both of the leadership gates here, both the 45 and the 31, and so you've got leadership all over your chart, and intuition fueled by research, and the ability to express stories that are helpful for the tribe, and for all of us. Okay. And definitely here with this 31. Okay. All right. So do we have, what kind of commonalities do we have here? I think we've got some really, oh, did I talk about this one? I don't think I talked about this one. This one I talked about before, because she had two different ones. Okay, you know what? I think I started here. Okay, now let me go up. Okay, because I thought there were more. All right. So for Marlene, here's Marlene. She's got this 48, right? So she's got that whole channel, and then her profile, she's a 3-5. So she likes to experiment and learn things through experimentation, trying things out. But she's got this 48 here. And so she's and she's also got it in contrast to this 43-23. So again, we've got the, the research, the learning in depth through research and through study. But then we've also got the wisdom that comes from the third line, which is through learning, through experiencing things, right? So the wisdom is going to come. I don't know how old you are, Marlene, but I would imagine that as you mature, that wisdom is going to be strong for you, because look at all these third lines we've got here. Wow, lots and lots of third lines. Okay, third line is really strong in your chart. Shows up a lot. So you're going to be getting a lot of that wisdom through your own personal experience. And you can have that experience then inform the knowing that you have, that you're getting from super consciousness, but then also that you have through your more of your research. And again, don't allow the defined ajna to take over and to demand that things be so logical and linear all the time, because they simply aren't. Okay, so Diana, we also looked at earlier, but here, just in relation to wise woman, she's got the mate to the 48, she's got the 16, so she's probably attracted that 48. and experienced it many times in her life, but she's got this defined head in Ajna. And so she's going to be working with her ideas up here. And then again, she's got this 4323. Interesting. So I think we've seen this about 3 times, right? So part of that wisdom is about being able to open up and receive the information that's coming in through super consciousness, and also the experience that you're feeling through the body, which is coming through this knowing circuit. It's also a 6th line, which means that she's learned a lot through experience in her earlier life. And so bringing that together with her logic will be really helpful for her in terms of her embracing her wise woman. So for Paige has got, again, another defined ajna. We've got a lot of defined ajnas here. That might be our most prominent commonality. We've also got another 6th line here. So again, she may be experiencing, and she's a 6-3. So, so her wisdom, right? Yeah, may be coming in a lot through experience, right? She does have this defined head and ajna, or defined ajna. So she has the gate of ideas, which means she's going to be receiving many ideas from super consciousness. Comes down through this channel here and moves over, and the ajna comes down here. So this woman is not going to be short of ideas at all. But the way that she's going to really become the wise woman is through her experience, letting that 3rd line, and when she's younger, under 35, that yeah, and you're nowhere near that yet. Oh no, wait, that's your timing. Okay, so you're 83, 90, or 37. Yeah, okay. So you're on the roof page. So you should be integrating the learnings that you had from your 6th line, but that 3rd line is still going to want to be having lots of experiences. But that's the way that you're going to come through, and your reflection on all of those experiences is what's going to help you in terms of taking your experience and turning it into wisdom. I'm learning so much here by doing this. I hope you are too. It's one of the reasons I wanted to do it, is I knew I would learn a lot too. Okay, so for Michelle here we've got another 3rd line. So, oh, sorry, we got a 2-4, but she's got the 3, which is different. So let's see, what do we see that's prominent? So she's a generator, and we've got this defined will center here again, and she's got this beautiful gate, which is the gate of higher purpose or of initiation. It's a beautiful connection between the 2 parts of the heart center, which is the will and the G center. And it's really a lot of grace in this center. I mean, in this connection here. And it definitely takes wisdom to know how to utilize that energy well, because it's a very potent energy, that 51. It can kind of rule you if you don't rule it. And so that's one thing I would say for you, Michelle, is to be looking at that. But then she also has this tribal energy here. And this particular channel is, it's all about, it's half of it. She actually has most of the defense circuit. So her wisdom may be a lot about what is her role in the tribe, and how can the tribe be sustainable? Because this is a lot about sustainability. It's about values. It's about making sure that the children have what they need. It's about teaching, passing on modes of behavior, ways of being with our emotions, and all of that. So it's about all of those things. And so it takes a lot of wisdom to do all of that well. And so that may be one of the key components here for you, Michelle, right? But then you also have this cosmic revolutionary here, which is kind of stirring things up and helping to bring things elsewhere. And then you're going to have a lot of double definition, just looking at the way that this is working for you. You do have this, the very beginning of the knowing circuit, and then it's coming up here through your central channel. And so you are going to be be able to be bringing in those kind of new ideas. And, and the 4 is a transpersonal energy that really is about relationship, and is about the connections between. It's traditionally known as the opportunist. Karen calls it the stabilizer. I always liked kind of the opportunist because I felt like I'm a 2/4 also, and I always felt like I was good at opportunity. But it's also about being able to create kind of stability, looking for opportunity in order to create stability. And that very much goes with this kind of energy down here that you see in your defense circuit. Okie dokie. All right, let's see where we are. Okay, I think I can get through all of these. Let's see here. Marlene says, I'll be 50 on Monday. Okay, learning in depth for sure, but also pretty adventurous and enjoy lots of experiences. Well, if you're, so if Marlene, if you were the 6/3, I think you were, that means things are going to really start shifting for you as you move into your 50s. Yes, it's easy for your head to take over. Yep, got that. Okay, I'm curious to read the outcome of this study. Well done. Thank you. Yeah, well, we'll see how it all goes. My wise woman is highly engaged at this point. All right, High Priestess. I think she might be our last one. Yep. Okay, just in time. All right, so I'm at the beginning. Let me start at the beginning. I realized. Okay. All right, so we have seen Aileen's chart already. And so she has all this leadership energy, and and she also has this energy for the High Priestess, right? Just being plugged into super consciousness here for sure. Okay, Lisa. Let's see here. For Lisa, she's got the 45 and she's got the 2838. She's also got energy, a lot of energy for big ideas. And for big idea, really particularly business ideas, really big business ideas that can be very influential and good for everyone. She's also got this 5th line. We were talking about the 5th line earlier about visionary leadership. Used to be called the heretic. And she's got quite a bit of 5th lines. Yep, she's got it. So that 5th line energy for you, Lisa, is something that is part of your feminine sovereignty as well. But you've really got these 3. When we talked about this in class, Lisa's in one of my classes. We talked about these 3 channels being just really vital for you to be paying attention to. You've got 3 different circuits going there. They have 3 different kinds of energies. They're going to support you in 3 different ways, right? One of them is more logical. One of them is knowing. And one of them is more tribal and in the ego circuit and more business oriented. So it's actually great. I mean, you've really got all of these different energies to draw on. But one of my curiosities for you is, how do you feel like that the 45 shows up in your life? Are you looking at the different hanging gates that get to the throat? So, right, so you've got the 26 here, you've got the 12, you've got the 48. So these are all energies that can help get energies through your throat. So just kind of looking at that. And then that I think just I'd be curious to hear more from you about how you relate to the archetype of the High Priestess, and if that's the one that feels the most accurate for you. I mean, projectors are here to be leaders and orchestrators for our new world. And so that might be part of the reason that you identified in that way. Okay. I don't know who this is. She took her name off. All right. So we've got, let's see. So we've got the main definition is down here between these 2 motors. Again, with this, well, yeah, this is a important tribal energy. So is this, she's got a predominance of tribal energy, if you just see this right here. And so for her, it may be that her, like the tribal nature of her experience may relate for her. And also the 4037 is in her incarnation cross. So this energy right here, the channel of the bargain, this is all about making agreements and helping to make sure that everybody is engaging in agreements that work for them, and that they're not being coerced into things, or they're not being taken advantage of, or they're not giving themselves away, that sort of thing. So for you, whoever you are, you want to be looking at that particular energy. And then also you've got half the defense circuit, which again is that energy about sustainability, making sure that there is enough for everyone, and so on. So though that is the kind of energy that I would see primarily for you, as far as where your feminine sovereign leadership is going to be strong in your life. You do have the 31 defined, and the 31, what's lighting up your 31 is your Venus is lighting up your 31. So that's your womanly energy. So it may be that you are experiencing, because of your life experience or just your tendencies and your, what you are drawn to and what you desire, you may be experiencing that 31 energy in terms more of ritual and ceremony. And I think of ritual and ceremony as being a tribal energies more than collective energies, if that makes sense. And not so much individual energies, maybe some to some degree, but yeah, not necessarily so much. I would also say you want to look at this, all of these different gates that are double defined in your chart. You want to go take a look at them and see how they work in your life, because they're particularly big themes for you. Okay, so for Candy, we've got a manifesting generator who's got a defined ajna. So we're not seeing, now we do have a defined head and ajna up here. 2 open head and ajnas, which are far more common. 7 out of 8 people have open head and ajna. So even in this group as a whole, I'll have to go back and do some counting to see how many defined ajnas we have. So for her, in terms of the high priestess, she does have this beginning of the knowing circuit, but not a whole lot of it. She does have some of the logic. I would say it's the 3420. Actually, let me take that back. She has the 4323, which is the beginning of the knowing circuit, and it's a vital part of it, because the 43, we've seen this over and over again. The 43 is, in traditional human design, is known as the genius or freak gate, and it's all about when you express yourself, because this energy brings in really different new types of energies, new perspectives. Again, it's an individual circuitry. This 3420 is also individual circuitry. And so that energy is about being different. It's about not fitting in. It's about bringing in new forms. The 3420 is the most powerful channel in the chart. It's known as the channel of the manifesting generator. It's the only channel that goes directly from the sacral, which is the strongest motor of the chart, going directly to the throat. So there's a lot of speed here. So the thing that I would say to you as the high priestess, Candy, is that you may have a lot of ideas that come in, a lot of downloads that come in for you. And you may feel pressure to express it because you have this open head, and you may have this energy coming up from below, from your sacral, that is encouraging you to express and to manifest and to make things happen. But you really want to make sure that you're doing it at the right time. Same with this 32. These are really, really important channels for timing, channels and gates for timing. And you can pay attention to the pulse of the root, because the root is going to pulse on and off, and it'll give you some ideas or some feeling about when is the right time. Sixth lines can also get kind of impatient. Let's see. So you're 45, so you're still on the roof. So I would say it's not that you can't be active, because you totally can be active, but also really be giving yourself some patience, and don't let that super powerful configuration you have right here run over you, because it could. Okay. Yeah. And this is where I would see that high priestess energy really coming in. Okay. So for Deborah, she's another 6-2. We got a lot of 6 lines. Here we have another no motor projector. We've had a few of those today. All right. What do we got going on here? So she's got the 48 here, which we were talking about as part of Wise Woman. She's also got this beautiful storytelling gate. She's got this gate that we talked about it as gate of struggle. But I would say that, you know, for you here, you're going to have a lot of impulse to want to express what you know. And it could be that you also can get caught in expressing your fear, because the spleen is instinctual, and all of the gates of the spleen are fear gates. And so it could be that you could get caught in expressing fear. So one thing I would say for you, Deborah, is to become familiar with all of these different gates that you have defined, and see what your relationship to those fears are, and then transform the ones that don't feel like they're right for you anymore. Now, the 15 here is it's part of the channel of rhythm, and it's love of humanity. But it's a funny rhythm. I mean, it is connected to nature. The 5 is super connected to nature. It's mate. So it may be that you have attracted this energy a lot, and would feel it. And this is definitely one of the places that High Priestess would live, would be in this configuration right here in the 515, because that has a lot to do with the cycles of rhythm and cycles of nature. And the High Priestesses often are doing ceremony on solstices, equinoxes, and things like that. So that would be one energy that I could see could be important for you. You also have all this tribal energy that's happening here. And so for you, the wanting to make sure that the tribe has what it needs, that the teachings that are being handed down are appropriate and beneficial. You want to make sure that they're not colored by fear from the 50 here. But that's a really beautiful energy that is about the relationship to the tribe. Okay. And you should be fully in your 6th line by now. So really looking, Deborah, for yourself as to how you are being a role model by being who you are in your life. And if any of the feminine sovereign archetypes are beneficial for you in doing that, and particularly the High Priestess, if that resonates for you. Okay, Cecilia here. Cecilia also has that 3420 that we were just looking at a minute ago, which is that channel of the manifesting generator. And she also has the 3828, which we've talked about. This 4426, we've seen this coming up also. And then she's got this tribal energy right in here. So she's got individual energy and then tribal energy. Okay. And this 2838 is part of that individual energy. So she mostly has that individual energy and tribal energy. And again, that individual energy, I definitely think can go along with the High Priestess, because she's here to be different. She's here to bring change, here to bring in new forms, not to fit in, going to be different. But then there's also a little bit of a conundrum in this working with this tribal energy, which is about being part of the tribe and being persuasive, being able to invite people into maybe your new ideas, maybe your new forms, maybe the ceremonies and the rituals that you do, if being a high priestess really resonates with you. Maybe the ways of being together as a people that is a part of your understanding of yourself as a high priestess is one of the ways that you work with what I call the creative tension between that individual circuitry and the tribal circuitry. Okay, and our last ones here. Let's see, do we have a name? Some of you gave your name and some of you didn't. Nope, don't have a name. So let's see here. All right, here's a 51. So we've got a 51. We've also got the 43. So as I said before, so the 51 is an energy that I did associate with the high priestess because it's an energy of initiation. And it is part of that channel of initiation. And so, so she's got that. Where is it in her chart? Let's see. What is lighting up the 51? Oh, her conscious earth is in the 51. So that's a really important energy for her to be getting a handle on, because it is an energy that can run over you if you don't learn how to utilize it. So you do need to be careful with that one. Let's see here. This is kind of small. Look at all of those gates on the G center that are defined. I would say that one of the key things for you in your engaging with life, and certainly an asset for you in terms of tuning into the feminine sovereign archetypes, is all of that heart energy that you have defined, right? She's got all of this heart. She's got both of the aspects of the heart that are defined, the will center and the G center. They're not fully connected to each other, but they are both defined. So she's got all of that going on. And then she's just got all of these different gates. So I would say, take a look at what these different gates are. And in particular, look at the storytelling energy you have in this 1333, because that's, you know, you have just three, how many channels do you have? 1, 2, 3. You have just 3 channels that are defined. And so it's an important one for you. And it's really a beautiful one. And you want to make sure that your energy around the 57 is clear and that you're not in any fear here. Because when it's clear, that 57, that intuition will feed your self-love, and then that'll feed the heart and that'll feed your expression. So you just want to make sure that that 57, sorry, is really clear. Because if you've got fear going on in here and it's bringing fear into your heart and then you're expressing it, it's going to throw off all of your expressions. And she's also got this 38, you know, which is about the visionary, that ability to see what the people need, and then to help make agreements. Again, we've had a lot of this 40-37. You see this, a lot of this tribal energy too. So yeah. So that is what I would say, and it is 2:22. Oh my goodness. All right, my dears. I would love to hear from those of you who are still here. Thank you for hanging in there. A bunch of you are still here, but I know some of you have left. I would love to hear from you, your feedback about any of this, anything that you learned specifically, anything that surprised you. Yeah, just anything that you got out of today. I would love to hear from you before you sign off. And I'm just gonna see over here. All right, over here on Facebook. Hi, Facebook people. Let me go ahead and read your comments. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Tara. Yes, there isn't. Oh, Earth Mother. Did I not do Earth Mother? Oh my goodness. I had them all open. I'm pretty sure I did Earth Mother. Tara, if you're still there, tell me if I didn't do it. It's actually a little hard for me to keep track. Tell me somebody else. Tell me if I didn't do it. Okay. Yeah, and just remember the recording if you're coming in late. I see, Michelle, you came in halfway, that the recording is available if you're here on Zoom. It's available on the Sovereignty by Design Facebook page. So I go and I encourage you to go and take a look at it. Okay. And if you want to book a reading with me, Michelle, you can just send me an email, admin@ostaraexperience.com. And I'll just let you know, Michelle, and I'll let everybody know. I meant to tell you this at the beginning, but I forgot. And look for this in an email because I'll be sending it out, I hope, today. That I'm going to do a Black Friday special on readings. I'm going to do 1 hour readings for $200, which is half of what I usually charge for a reading. So, so send me, I don't know which Michelle this is because there are a few on here. Just send me an email and I'll make sure that you get the Black Friday special. And it would be great. I'd love to do that. I would love to do that. All right, everybody. Anybody else have anything to say here? Did I actually not do, let me just look here. Because some of you are saying I didn't do your charts and I thought I did everybody's. Maybe I didn't do this one. You know what? I think I didn't do, okay, I got one more to do. I will do, and you can watch the recording later if you want. Okay, where is it? It's Earth Mother. Thank you for telling me. Jennifer, are you an Earth Mother? Yeah, Tara, you're in here. I've got Tara and Sarah and Mary. Jennifer, I'm pretty sure I did you, Jennifer. Okay. You know what, Jennifer, hang on if you can. I'll go and take a look for your chart in a minute. And Tara, I'm about to do yours. Okay. I don't know if that's Marilyn. This is not a very chart. I think this is Marlin. Okay, Jennifer, just hang on with me for a second if you can. All right, so this is Earth Mother. And one of the things that's interesting is we've been seeing all of these different tribal energies, right? So I said Earth Mother was, partly in the 50 to 50, 27, which is right here. It's a very tribal energy, as you can imagine, right? Earth Mother. Very interested in making sure that people have what they need, but then also love for the earth, which would be in the 15, the 515, which would be right here. But like I said, it can be many places in the chart, and a lot of this has to do with how you experience your life. But for this person, she's got a bunch of tribal energy for her, and she's got the 50, and the 50 is all about passing on values. It's a teaching energy. I have this defined in my chart. Oh, and here it's in a really prominent part of her chart. It's her son is lighting it up. Her son 88 days prior to her birth. So it's a super prominent part of her chart. And so I would just say that is an energy that supports her, and all of these and can help her to be somebody who is really taking care of the chart. Taking care of the tribe. Okay. She's also got this individual energy here, which is interesting. These are both her channels are both in the knowing circuit. And so she's also going to have a way of plugging into super consciousness that's going to help her with that. And because this is what defines her throat, this is going to be really prominent for her. And also because this is conscious, she's going to feel that a little bit more. So just wanting to be looking at how she can utilize her, what do you call it? Her intuition in the service of the tribe. Okay, we have a reflector. Awesome, Tara. So we have a reflector here, and this is in Earth Mother. And so she's got some tribal energy down here. She's got the 21, but she doesn't have a ton of it. Where is most of her? Yeah, well, she's got this the 38 here and provocation. And so this 38 again is part of meaning. It's part of what is worth giving our attention to, and then she can be utilizing that to really create the environment for people to be able to say yes when they have been invited into agreements. Yeah, so she has energy for all of those things. I mean, she does have the beginning of the knowing circuit coming in through here, and then coming up through the 2 and the 1. So she does have that individual circuitry and that sense of knowing. Again, we saw that with our last person here who had quite a bit of the knowing circuit here. So I can definitely see that as a support for everything in her life in particular, but also in terms of her being able to know really what's worth putting attention and energy into, being a voice for coming to agreements that work for everyone, knowing when it's time to shake things up so that we can break out of our patterns that aren't helpful for us, and then inviting people into a different vision of what's possible. Okay, and then here for Sarah, her primary tribal energy is here in the 21 and in the 59, and she's also we've seen this 28 before, we've seen this 48, the 1648. So she's got 2 main channels, which are lighting up these different, defining these different centers. And so in terms of Earth Mother, let me just feel into this for a minute. I would say, mostly, again, we've got this channel of the bargain, which we've seen often, which is about making agreements that are sustainable and that really work for everyone and that work for the tribe. So it works for the tribe as well as for the individuals who are involved. And this 59 has a lot to do with it's part of the defense circuit, and it has to do with the making sure it's for procurement, making sure that everyone has the resources that they need. And so that's a part of her Earth Mother. But I would just say in terms of her leadership, she has the support for leadership, both in the 21 and in the 7. And so she may be really aware of the 45 and the 31 because she has, those are energies that she'll be bringing into her life a lot because she will have been experiencing them there. Okay. I'm going to stop this share, and then let me just find oh my. Okay. Jennifer, it looks like I didn't even get your chart. Hold on. I know I saw it come in. Oh, maybe were you in the last group? Huh. Let me go find it. Okay. Oh, you know what, Jennifer, I didn't do your chart because you didn't tell me. I emailed you back. You didn't tell me what your archetype is. So if you're still there, tell me what your archetype is, because that's why I didn't do your chart. Okay. Yeah, I think you're on Facebook. Here, let me find you again. Because I can't do your chart if I don't. Yeah, Jennifer, what's your archetype? That's why I didn't do it, because I didn't have anywhere to put you. Okay, I'll give you 1 minute to let me know. Because I didn't do anybody's chart if they didn't send me an archetype. So sorry, Jennifer, that's why. Okie dokie, going. We're way after 2:30. Oh, you couldn't figure it out? Okay, Jennifer, I'm sorry. I don't actually know what that means. Did you do the quiz? So did you do the quiz multiple times? Okay. All right. So the thing I want you to get, okay, you couldn't answer the questions. All right. The thing I want you to get, Jennifer, is you're not one of them. You can be many of them. Okay. I think you're kind of putting yourself into knots there, and it's not necessary. Just see what resonates the most with you. Okay, let's just look at your chart real quick, since you tried so hard. All right. All right, so we've got a manifesting generator. She's got the 3420 again, and she's got plenty of this knowing circuit here coming in, and then coming up through the middle. You've got the 31, which could be part of the New World Leader. You've also got here's the thing, Jennifer. This is what I want to say to you, okay? This is not to put you in a box, okay? It's more about you having fun to be able to go, wow, I've got relationships with all of these different powerful energies, okay? So you've got the knowing circuit, you've got the 3420, you've got these beautiful energies from the sacral fueling your heart, and then the sacral fueling your expression. And so you've just got a lot of ability to be who you are, to express and to manifest the things that come to you intuitively, to be able to enjoy nature and connect with nature, to be able to love and experience life beautifully through the body, and to really be able to receive blessings that are on their way to you. Okay. So, yeah, that's what I would say. Okay. And the last thing I want to say to all of you is, yeah, don't put yourself in a box. That's not the purpose of this. I hope this was helpful. I know most of you are gone. So we're way over time. All right. I'm going to put out a Black Friday special for readings, and also to access to my Activate Your Superpowers class. So if you want to know more about human design, check it out, and and join me. I'd love to do a reading for you. All right. Bye for now.